welcome to Mecaniquesportive on YouTube. I'm Nicola. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the new releases from Dacia. The new Jogger, the new Dacia Sandero Stepway, and the new Dacia Sandero. They've been restyled with several changes, mainly to the exterior, now featuring a more pixelated look. New front and rear ends, plus slightly updated interiors. I'll show you everything as usual. You'll know everything since there are new engines, colors, and design. I'll do it this way for you since filming is hard today with all the media around for the international presentation of these models. I'm going to give you the main features that will concern the Sandero Stepway, and the Jogger. So we're going to have new engines. We know that the Jogger came as a hybrid, but this hybrid engine will also be coming to the Sandero Stepway, fourth quarter of 2026. So this one, as you can see, has a new color. It's called Amber Yellow, which is honestly very nice. New front lights signature for all these cars and a new bumper. And we'll see some specific features for this Sandero Stepway version right here. So this is the first evolution in the 155 horsepower hybrid engine that we saw in the Dacia Bigster. It's now a 1.8 liter, much better than before. 4 cylinders and a larger battery, now 1.4 kilowatt hours instead of 1.2. An increase in displacement as well, going from 1.6 liters to 1.8 liters, which allows us to have more torque and more comfort. The advantage is that Renault Group still uses a 4-cylinder, which is good. So in terms of engines, we also have the turbo control efficiency 100 that's coming. We have the Eco G 120 as well, which is also new. And I'll make another video for you about the Dacia Bigster, which is coming in a liquefied petroleum gas 4-wheel drive version, which is also a first. It will be quite interesting, and of course, you know me, we'll test it in all conditions, of course. I'll soon make a video for you about the Dacia Bigster liquefied petroleum gas. Then we'll find the 1-liter 3-cylinder engine on these cars. We also keep the SCE 65 and the old turbo control efficiency 110. So this time we have a wide range of choices. So SCE 65, turbo control efficiency 110. The 3-cylinder 1-liter now has 100 horsepower. We also offer the 155 horsepower hybrid and the 3-cylinder 1.2 Eco G with 120 horsepower. Now with a new automatic transmission, dual clutch, which is pretty good. Not dual gear, dual clutch, excuse me. 6 speeds, or also in manual. They now claim a combined range of up to 1,480 kilometers, which is said to be quite interesting. The main benefit of liquefied petroleum gas on these new Dacias is the larger tank. We had 40 liters before, now it's 49.6 on the Sandero and Sandero Stepway versions. The Jogger will now have 48.8 liters, up 8.8 liters from before. This normally gives us a range of about 700 kilometers on liquefied petroleum gas, which is pretty good. It was a request from customers, and Dacia wanted to please them. This whole range now offers liquefied petroleum gas, gasoline, and hybrid options, but still no full electric yet. Maybe that will come in the future, but it's not planned yet for Dacia, and I think it's pretty smart to still give us real engines. By the way, at Dacia, there are a lot of people who choose liquefied petroleum gas, and liquefied petroleum gas is quite advantageous in terms of budget. That's 35% less than a 90 horsepower continuously variable transmission gearbox and 19 grams less carbon monoxide. 2. The new Eco G 120 engine is smart and an upgrade from the previous Eco G 100. And we're going to keep going like this, gradually improving all these cars. Anyway, I'm going to take you closer to see what it looks like and all the changes on these cars. All right, so I'm going to get closer. This time, we'll start with the Dacia Jogger, which is right here. But you can see it from the front ends. Between the Jogger, the Sandero Stepway, and the Sandero, you'll find the same headlights. You can actually see that this one has its lights on. And you can see right here that they're LED. And you still have the halogen bulb here for the high beams. Now we have a sort of pixel-style light. So there are a lot of brands that like to do it this way. And you can see here that we have a version Extreme. You can spot the Extreme version by these colored mirrors. By the way, even on the yellow one, we still have these slightly copper-colored mirrors on the Extreme versions. So let's start with this Jogger. Now, in terms of looks, very, very little has changed. There's no change to the bodywork on the sides or anything like that. As for the wheels, we'll see some differences. So here, the wheels have this new design. You can see that here we're at 16 inches. 16 inches is a big advantage, especially because it gives you extra comfort. The Extreme trim, so still with the stickers, and also this For me, I think this is new as well. The white turn signals like this, they look really nice. It adds a nice little touch. You still have the modular roof bars, and especially, look at the antenna up there. Let's move on to a shark fin type antenna on the highest end trims. On the rear as well, small. I'll go to the front first, then change. To tell you about the rest, I gave you all the engine options under the engines. The grille. At the front end with little dots like pixels. So a lot of brands like that, as I was saying, when you get closer, you always find the camera right here. And when you come to the side little by little with the optical blocks, at the bottom you notice a significant change, a much larger opening. It's more aggressive. The fog lights remain on the side, which is still a plus from Dacia. Small air intakes on the side of this way. Look here what it looks like. So this is the air curtain plus here with this little part here. And you can see that all of this is now in Starkle. Yeah, the Starkle was something that was requested by the clients, which had appeared on some models, the Duster, the Bigster, etc. And they said, we want it on the other models too. So here it is. The skid plate is still tinted in the mass, just like before, and a nice evolution of the front part. That's what we have here, and you can see the wheel arches as well, which go into Starkle. So it's, that's what's injected with plastic, and there are little white dots inside. The side, like I told you, there's not much change still in the 7-seat version. That's the big advantage of the Dacia. Jogger is among the most spacious and notable 7-seaters on the market, where there's really plenty of space. Fits 7 real adults. Check out the legroom. The cup holders and other features remain unchanged. Plus, it's rare for a 7-seater to offer bag space in the back like this. At the back, that changes the lights. Look, the lights that have changed, especially these larger units. Red, you can see here. So it's still not real LED, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And a big change with, again, a much more pronounced light signature, horizontal and vertical with parts crossed, which creates a sort of point here, a fictional one. So again, this idea of a pixel in the background. So, as I mentioned, the shark antenna is up there. The Dacia logo is still displayed like this, and you'll notice that there are several changes on the stepway, especially at the back. We also find the Starkle, and the ski is tinted in the mass. And at the front, we're going to find quite a few new features. The back, well, there's very little change. It's always the same thing. A few small new features on the seats, more about the color and the fabric. But it's mainly at the front where we're going to see a big difference. Look here. So again, we find these extreme parts. This fabric, I'm not sure if it's fabric. It's half fabric, half plastic. But it's soft and a little bit foamy. Next, we have fairly standard plastic doors. The mats from the extreme version, and these seats here. So look, you can see that it's pretty nice. The finish is nice. I like it with this bronze touch. And as for the dashboard, you can see the evolution of this big screen. This time, we're on a 10-inch screen. Still something pretty fast. So they left it in German for us, unfortunately, and I don't speak German at all, but you can see CarPlay, Android Auto, etc. And this time, it's a 10-inch screen. That's a real advantage. On this side, we can find the Gloucester. Here, it's 100% screen, and still with the scrolling bars like this across 3 menus. The air conditioning, here the controls are like those on older Clios, and the hybrid versions feature an automatic gearbox. There's also the handbrake, is electric, which frees up a lot of space right here. And still this ultra spacious interior. Anyway, let's move on to the Sandero Stepway. Can I take it for 3 or 4 minutes? Perfect, thank you. We're with Automoto. He's nice in letting me have it for 3 minutes. On this side, the Sandero Stepway with this new amber yellow. So the front is exactly the same as what you find on the Dacia Jogger. The side mirrors are the same. In short, it's about cost reduction. We also have the modular roof bars, which you don't find at all on the standard Sandero versions here, for example. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here, I like it because it really highlights the hood and this color. I can't wait to see it outside. It reminds me a little bit of a golden yellow like that from BMW. Share your thoughts. But there was this color at BMW that looked a lot like it. Maybe even a little bit at Volkswagen too. But I really like it. Thank you, Dacia, for adding color to our lives. We see the same wheels here, 16-inch ones on this extreme trim. The Starkle that we see around, the small turn signal repeater, the light signature right here. So, same thing, always the pixels, the same front, which is actually pretty nice. I really like this design. The side doesn't change, you can see it's the same thing. Just the wheel arches and the lower parts. So this time in Starkle, which you can find like this with this specific material. Always the bold stickers and that small detail inviting you to travel. Close it properly, like this, it looks nicer. And from the rear 3/4, it still has that Sandero Stepway look. When you compare it to the Sandero, you can see there are still quite a few similarities. But this one is a bit more like a raised SUV, and it also has a bit more trunk space. These are the new features. It also affects the aerodynamics. You'll also spot it on the new spring, roof bars, Stepway badge with the same bronze accent on the side, and a shark fin antenna like the one over there compared to the spring. For example, it was more complicated. And at the back, the light signature is different from the Dacia Jogger. The little detail is that Dacia is blended into this black strip, compared to what was done over there or on the Jogger. That's cool because it's actually very discreet. Actually, we're playing a little with the brightness, and I think it's pretty nice. And still this texture, pleasant. So between the matte and the glossy, which gives a really nice touch. In terms of trunk volume, etc., it doesn't change. We still find the same thing. In this car, since in the end, the chassis it doesn't change. It's just the color and especially the appearance. Then, the engines. However, on the back, there's a big difference between the Dacia Sandero Stepway and the Dacia Sandero. Standard. You can see that here. There are rear bumpers, really specific, and that go up a little bit like in the front, which we didn't find at all, neither on the Jogger nor on the standard Sandero. And that's fine. Really make a difference on the Sandero Stepway, as you can see here, and I must admit that it brings some style. And really, it makes this car stand out. The Sandero Stepway remains one of the best vehicles to me. And so these lights with these kinds of pixels as well, I think we're still on, I don't think we're yet on LEDs. Same, needs to be confirmed. But it's like before, small difference there. And when we come to the back, right here, the back doesn't change. Same, just new colors and maybe a few stitches that might change a little bit. And when I come to the front, we'll find the same thing as in the Jogger. The double bars, this texture here, the doors are pretty much the same. And also the steering wheel, new steering wheel with a kind of flat part here, flat part here. The steering wheel has the same controls. The automatic gearbox is available on the Hybrid and Eco G 120 versions, 6 speeds. The Hybrid still uses the E-Tech engine from the Renault group. However, here the new dual-clutch gearbox is really brand new. And the 10-inch screen right here, with a screen as well. Digital on the other side. And the seats will still look almost identical to what we're going to find on the other side. I can drop you here or go over there if you prefer. Thank you. And so this time, the Sandero version, what I like is being able to line them up for you. Here's what it looks like. On Sunday, Lenny will show you the car on Automoto. On this side, this slightly white chalk-like color, which is pretty nice. I have to admit, I love the amber yellow because I like colorful things. You can see it here and over there. So the Jogger and this Sandero are both the same color. The same front, the same lights. However, it looks like it's Starkle, but with fewer of them. There are just a few little white dots. It may not be the same production, but you can still see some Starkle touches here. Pixels that you find on the front camera, and also there are even cameras on the mirrors. This was more common on the Duster and others before. And on the side, it's the same thing as always. However, this one has diamond cut wheels, and honestly, look at that, great style. What do you think about it? Personally, I like it. I think it's really nice. So, which would you pick so far? I admit I have a soft spot for the Sandero Stepway. The Jogger is still a very, very good car and really interesting for the market. Look, here we have Largus and we have Olivier, whom you know, who is the creator of the magazine Dacia Attitude, and with Geraldine, editor-in-chief of Largus. That's what tests or presentations really look like. Just over there, behind, we have the Renault Group's International Communications Director. It's fascinating, and I love making these videos for you. Here, we have cameraman, a cameraman for Largus. So we have TF1. There are lots and lots of media outlets here today. Anyway, in this one, so here's what it looks like. So I really like the little bulge that stands out here on the fender. You can also see it a little bit here. I haven't seen a Sandero in a while. Here, the lighting really makes the bulge stand out. This highlights this part. It's great that everything is painted. No plastic arch here. And honestly, it's a really, really cool look. And at the back, we find the same philosophy, with Dacia still marked here in the light cluster, and this technology in this style, pixels. The Sandero, which still has this way, kind of like a nail file. The Dacia in white on this side, and this one in the high-end trim, like this, fully painted. I think it's pretty nice. One thing, Dacia, I would have liked it if you had painted the sensors because it would look really integrated. Now, with other brands, they put them on the black plastic parts, but here there isn't any black plastic. There's a slight cost reduction, but painting would be better. The fuel door is on this side and usually opens from inside. Depending on the trim, you can choose liquefied petroleum gas or gasoline. Diesel is no longer an option. Are you more interested in diesel? You might be interested in liquefied petroleum gas? Honestly, it's pretty good and available at many stations. I made an interesting video for you about the liquefied petroleum gas versions and the interior of this one, which has a new interior. So, I really love this style. It's it's denim style, it's bluish. It's pretty nice. Look, up here we have 2 more different combinations. So that makes 3 styles. Between this black, this blue here, this one, and the headrest there. The combination works well with this slightly white color. I like it. It creates a bit of contrast and brings some color. This is something missing in our lives. This different style here really gives it a denim look. It's actually pretty nice compared to what was there before, those kinds of black and white resin. And the inside? It still looks high-tech, and you wouldn't guess you're in a Dacia. Also, I forgot to mention, look, the air vents have improved too. There are still heated seats, locking, eco mode, and the climate control unit below. We also now have wireless chargers, which is something new. And still this automatic gearbox right here. And the electronic handbrake. Here's the steering wheel. So double flat bottom in this part. You can see there's a big evolution. And the whole dashboard, look how beautiful it is. That's really interesting. But look at this. You see, there's a little camera filming me here. Not sure if you saw, but when it lights up, it depends on the light. But now you're going to have additional driving aids. I'll close it so I don't bother my colleagues. So basically, this is the camera that will be mandatory starting summer 2026. So in case you close your eyes, if you're distracted, it will give you a little reminder. It beeps, basically like all new cars. Well, normally, we'll probably be able to disable everything. Look, since we have the little button here, my personal safety here. The heated steering wheel now uses liquefied petroleum gas, as this is the liquefied petroleum gas version. We can disable it along with the systems and sign reading. Basically, Dacia does this really well, just like the Renault Group. USB-C port and phone holder, very clever, with horizontal and vertical. The interior still looks a lot like what was done before. So we have the necessary updates to make it stylish for the past 2 or 3 years before there's really a new Sandero. And Sandero Stepway, it's pretty well done. What do you think about it? All right, come on, I'll give you a ride back outside to talk about these cars and give you a little debrief. Because it's actually pretty good. Hold on, I'll drop you off here. Look, there's an engine. So this is the new 1.8-liter hybrid engine. So you can see in blue the whole electric part. And on this side, the battery is here. Inside, you see the engine with the rotor and stator. This part turns and is driven. Electric here. You can see on this side. This normally should be the intake, if I'm not mistaken. The pistons inside, so it's been lengthened here before the stroke was shorter. Here, so it was 1.6 liters. So since they increased the stroke, we're now at 1.8 liters. On this side, you can see the timing chain. I really like everything mechanical. And the accessory pulley, and here as well, the starter, here, electric. We have 3 electric motors on these engines, and the battery connects to a 4 kilowatt hours compared to 1.2 compared to before. Well, I got my spot taken, but we'll let our colleagues go by right over there and have a little debrief. Look, don't move. I'll take you into this. I also made you a quick video to help you quickly discover the spring. This is what the new spring looks like with this new color, seafoam. So, sea is basically the sea or the ocean. Foam is the froth, basically the foam you find like sea foam. It's pretty nice. It has a bit of a grayish, bluish touch, really pleasant. And on this side, we have Dacia models, so Duster and Bigster, with the new four-wheel drive liquefied petroleum gas engines that are different this time. So it's not the Eco G120 or the Eco G100 we had before. It will be a new 140 horsepower engine with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. I'll make a dedicated video about that for you. From the outside, nothing changes except the small 4x4 badge on this side in the liquefied petroleum gas version. And also over there, and hold on, over there are some people following something, and I'll show you. I'll try not to interrupt them too much. But here's what the chassis looks like. It looks like this. It can tow 1.5 tons. Anyway, I'll make a dedicated video about this for you because it's actually pretty interesting. The four-wheel drive version of the Dacia Bigster and the Duster, since I know a lot of people are interested in that. And normally, by the end of the year, we should be able to test them if everything goes well. And if you're nice and you give a little thumbs up, the Mecanique Sportive channel is one of the French media that offers the most test drives. And also, I do everything to please you in the most extreme conditions. In short, for you, good thing or not, these new Dacias, not bad, right? Personally, I really like the amber yellow. It's really nice. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up like this. Don't hesitate to subscribe, and I'll see you soon for a new video. Normally, I've given you all the information.